part of the resistance.
Hey there guys, IronicRebound here. So I do my 10 things I hate about my CBR650F. And so there it is. Now, this is my second bike. I just want to have a look around because honestly I got kicked out everywhere I've gone today. Everywhere I've gone today I've been kicked out trying to make this video and get some pictures for Instagram. So I'm going to keep an eye out anyway. So a nice February afternoon, beautiful day, a little chilly but nice. So 10 things I hate about my CBR650F. So most of the things that I disliked I've actually changed, and there's really only one thing, maybe a couple things that I cannot change, unfortunately. First off, the stock exhaust had to go. Way too quiet. So I've replaced it, of course, with the Akrapovic or Akrapovic. That thing is badass. You can check this video here for a sound clip before and after. It's night and day, and the cars and cages definitely hear you coming. So that was one. Two, the stock levers were horrible, as on most bikes, so I have since replaced it with aftermarket levers. These being billet aluminum, titanium is the color. They're some no-name Chinese brand, but honestly they look, feel pretty great. So yeah, that's number two. Number three, which I have not changed yet, the stock windscreen. It looks okay, but honestly for highway rides, I'm 6'1". I find that this does not do the trick. I am looking at the double bubble or something a little bit conservatively larger, which should help. So that's number three, is the windscreen. Number four, signals, the front turn signals. Those ridiculous bulbs that come on there stock, I have since replaced them with some cheap aftermarket flush turn signals. I'll put some links in the descriptions, hopefully, for all the whereabouts of the aftermarkets. So yeah, that's number four, is the front turn signals. Number five is the rear tail. So that's what it looks like now, and this is what was on it before. So huge improvement. Gets rid of the turn signals. That is an integrated light that's built in, integrated turn signals, as well as LEDs I've added in only to increase the visibility. So that's number five. Number six is the seat. So I do have the seat cowl on here. That's a dealer part. That's the OEM part, only because I couldn't find an aftermarket because the bike is relatively new model. So that's the seat cover, which I think improves the look dramatically. The banana seat entirely, more than aesthetically, I still have a hell of a time pulling it on and off. I think since putting wiring in those LEDs, it's adjusted some of the tolerances, so it's a real tight squeeze.
That's what she said.
It's a pain in the ass. My single seat on the 500R was far superior, far easier to take on and off. And I do get under there a bit because it's a little storage that I have. And yeah, so it's a pain in the ass. I mean, ultimately, I guess you don't have to get under there very often. So that's okay. It's not all that bad. So that's number six. Number seven is ABS. So there is front and rear ABS on this bike. Now, I'm a newer rider. I've got a season. I've got about 20,000 kilometers or so under my belt. ABS does come in handy for a newer rider. It does make a newer rider a little bit lazier. so you don't really learn that brake control. But I would like the option to be able to turn it off, and it would seem like something relatively easy. Maybe it's an aftermarket thing I can look at. But yeah, being able to turn off the ABS would be great. Having a switch, I know there are bikes out there that have that. It would be a nice touch to be able to do that. Number 8 would be these pegs. These pegs here, aside from sticking out fairly far, I haven't rubbed them yet, but I'm assuming at some point when I get rid of this chicken strip, they will rub with these feelers that are on there. But this rubber here, it's kind of squishy. I'm assuming it's there to dampen vibration. It's an inline 4. It's a little buzzy up around the 8,000 RPM-ish, but just seems kind of odd that they have that. The 500R had that as well. It seems like a sort of a mid-range Honda bike thing. To me, it just, you seem like you lose control. Your foot's kind of floating on there. It's actually an air-filled sort of rubber, not solid piece of rubber. It's actually, there's air in there. It's a bubble, which to me would seem, at the very least, if it was a solid piece of rubber, it'd be a little better. But that can be changed, and I will be changing that. I'm looking at a decent pair of rear sets. We'll see what I find, and I'll definitely post that when that happens. The suspension. So the rear, I believe, is adjustable. It's a monoshock. It is adjustable. I believe there's a few positions, which is great. I'm a heavier rider, being over 6 feet. So if you're obviously smaller in the 100-150 pound range, I think that's what it's sort of tuned for. So if you weigh more than that, I'm in and around the 200 range. It needs to be tightened up in the back, which does help. But the front is not adjustable, stock anyway. So you don't have. So I find that when I tighten up the rear, the front is still rather spongy. There's quite a bit of play. It's not adjustable from factory, but my understanding is there are adjustable aftermarket parts, so you can add that adjustment option. Number 10, what I hate the most about this bike, which I unfortunately cannot change, it's growing on me, mind you, is that front headlight. So this is a Honda, it's a 650F. The front end, unfortunately, does not look like a Honda when I first look at it. It does somewhat look like the F, the Naked series, the 500F with no fairing. I don't know why they would do that. It's, to me personally, the dual headlamp option, when they both light up, which is rare, is just better for visibility at night. That visibility at night is not great. It's fairly yellow as well, the light bulb, the stock lamp, which I can change out for HID, whatnot. But I just find that it's odd. I don't know why they went with that design. I really love the 2 headlamp design on the 600RR, on the 1000RR, even on the 500R had the 2 headlamps, which I really liked. And it's just unfortunate that they have that option. They don't have that option, and this is what they decided on. It's growing on me, and all in all, I'm really nitpicking, and luckily most of what I dislike can be adjusted. I'm hoping this bike will get me through the next several years. We'll see how it goes. As far as power wise, I mean, like always, the need for speed is there, the need for power. I do kind of have an ache for a little more throttle, but it's obviously night and day over the 500, and I love this bike. It sounds incredible. It's an absolute joy to ride in the city. It's fantastic. And yeah, so those are my 10 things I dislike about my Honda CBR650F. That's also a bit of a before and after with what I've done aftermarket wise since I purchased it. It's a little bit dirty, it's got to be cleaned up. Another couple things I dislike while we're at it. The mirrors aren't great. They're not bad for visibility, but I do like those mirrors that are adjustable within. They got that inside adjustment, which makes it easier. I also like the signals in the mirrors. I think is a great visibility thing. And the other thing, a minor point, aesthetic. The rear sprocket on the 500R was, I believe, stainless steel. On this, it's a larger sprocket, obviously, but I believe it's like a billet aluminum or a cast aluminum. It's more of a matte gray finish, whereas the other was a very shiny, high shine finish. Cleaning it seems to be a real challenge. Even now, it looks somewhat corroded. It looks etched. There's sort of like a white etching in it, a black etching in it. I scrubbed it, has trouble getting it clean, whereas the stainless, really clean really easily. I mean, I would use some WD-40 usually on a rag and just wipe it down after wiping the cleaning the chain, and it would come out shiny and brand new as if I just bought the bike. I have not been able to bring back the original look to this rear sprocket since I bought the bike, unfortunately. I'm going to try a few more solvents on it, maybe something a little stronger. If anyone has any tips, please let me know. But that's a bit of a shame because I did like having that gleaming rear sprocket. The OCD in me really enjoyed that. And I'd love to see everybody else get in on this and let us know what it is you dislike about your ride. Especially those of you with multiple bikes. You've obviously bought the second bike because the first didn't quite do everything you wanted it to. So yeah, that's it guys. Take it easy and ride safe. City rides. I know, I find that the dogs don't like it too much. Thank you.